This is Natasha of Chikaboo Designs. I'm also the creator of FML Comics, and today I want to show you how I digitize my comics for publishing on my website and for putting on Instagram. So I'm going to do it in three parts. Part one is going to be scanning. Part two is going to be photoshopping and preparing for my website. And part three is going to be preparing for Instagram. I'm going to use Photoshop, and I'm going to use the software that already comes on a Mac for scanning. And I have a basic Brother A4 scanner that's attached to a printer. I'm just going to show you my comics for a second here as well. I hand draw my comics with a pencil first, then I go over it with permanent markers and black fine liners. I then erase on top of it to get any pencil marks away, and then I use watercolors to paint the color. So I've popped my A5 comic in my scanner already. It's in the top left-hand corner. Now I'm just going to navigate to the native Apple scanner application. So to do that, I go to the top left Apple icon, System Preferences, Printers and Scanners, and then my printer scanner appears here. And if you're using any printer and scanner with a Mac, it should appear here. So now I'm going to go to Scan in this tab on the right, open the scanner, and it's going to do a bit of warming up. So now let me take you through the settings briefly. The kind is color. That's fine. We don't want black and white or text. The resolution is 300 dpi. That is also fine. I could talk about this for ages, but basically 300 is the minimum you need for a professional quality print. So if I scan this at 300, I could then print it professionally at this size, which is A5, with no problems. For the web, you actually only need 150. So I always scan at 300. That's a pretty standard scanning DPI. The next thing is the size that you're going to scan. It doesn't really matter because all of this is croppable at the Photoshop stage, but since my comic is a standard size A5, it's quite convenient that it selects it automatically. I'm going to move it down actually a bit because I feel like it's cutting close to this signature I have. Now in the scan to, I want to choose my desktop, which is here, but I'm just going to show you that if you press other, you just get your standard Finder window. So this is where I usually put my scanned comics, but let's just choose desktop just for ease right now. I'm going to choose that. And then name, that's the name of a previous comic I scanned. But this one, I'm going to call it Spiral of Doom. That's what it's called. Helps me find it later. And now format, that's really important. TIFF is the way to go. TIFF holds the most quality for editing images. So I'm going to go with TIFF. You'll be able to open it with Photoshop, and you can actually open it with any image editing or preview software. Right, so now I'm done. This is actually just an overview. It's not a scan at all. So I'm going to hit scan. Okay, now you can see it's appeared here. Spiral of Doom on my desktop.tiff. So that's all done. Next stop, Photoshop. So please watch the next video, part 2.